first question, there's reasons like losing their love lives or something like that.
Okay.
The second question is, what the mechanism that we use
with respect to this agreement of reunification, in Pagak, the conference was very wide. Those who are non-SPLM members participated. And the resolution which was carried by the Pagak conference is like this. The conference said they like in my words, they like the reunification, but what they don't like is the leadership of Salva Kiir. We have conformed to that resolution. We have not yet discussed the leadership of the reunified SPLM. And it is very clear that we have mandated Shamasha Mapinduzi, which is the Tanzanian party that was helping us, to continue helping us in handling this issue of the leadership. Our position was, as I explained, that the issues we reached agreement on in ARUSHA were the same issues that Salva refused to listen to voice of reason in Juba, December 14th. He refused them to be discussed, but in Arusha he did, after loss of lives and property. So this, we are still to discuss leadership. And therefore, the non-members know that we're still within the parameters of what Pagak resolved. They did not say, don't talk about reunification of the SPLM. They didn't say that. But they said they didn't want a reunified SPLM under Salva Kiir. So it needs dialogue, implementation of the agreement. There is a matrix which is attached to the agreement. But on our side, we are talking with the mediators or the facilitators and the funders that we should quickly start working on the Constitution based on the draft December 14th, 2013, since that is available, and also the basic documents. Even if the rest is not implemented because the peace agreement has not reached, we should do this so that we have a common documents which we can table to the body that would endorse them. So the implementation matrix is there. You can study it. Obviously, always they get refined according to the circumstances. We have a partner in peace, and currently, the partner in peace is Salva Kiir. If we strike an agreement, I expect him to implement his part, like he expects me to implement my part. Whether it's this agreement on reunification of the SPLM, the act we have been doing since morning, I'm trying to fulfill part of my responsibility in dissemination of this agreement, so that the population from South Sudan know about it from me. And after that, even the rest go preaching it. So this is I'm fulfilling that function. I expect he will be doing the same where he is to disseminate this agreement correctly. And this is when we would develop trust that what we have agreed upon, we are disseminating it, we are informing the people so that they are made ready for the implementation of this agreement. This is the way for us to build trust. And since the document also is a public document, it belongs to the people of South Sudan, we want them to own it. We want the SPLM members to own the document and mobilize their comrades on the basis of this document, or even South Sudanese on the basis of this document, that the SPLM is serious about its reunification, and that this document is a good roadmap because it resolves the problems. It has resolved the problems that brought about the conflict. So I want everybody, and I have said it in the hall, that they should own it. They use it to get more members or get others who are members of SPLM to be on board. They probably supported the government. But if they see this document and they like it, there should be no barriers between them and the members who are with us in the SPLM, SPLA. So with that, we will all create trust, and we will do the process of reconciliation. It is not only at the leadership level, it is also at the grassroots level. Why do I want President Museveni to withdraw? Naturally, where the troops are, this is land of South Sudan. And the UPDF, these are Ugandan forces. The reason for them interfering in South Sudan was that they were told there was a coup. President Museveni himself, in a summit which I participated in, said there was no coup. So he has no reason to remain in the country. He is just increasing the expenditure of his army by being in a foreign country. And for us also, to conform to the cessation of hostilities, it's best that President Museveni removes his troops from South Sudan. The National Convention, after the CPA peace agreement was signed, CPA. We went through the normal process of selecting or electing leadership at all levels, from the grassroots, Boma, Payam, and county, and then the states. And at the national level, yes, there was discussion. Do we need new leadership at the top? But finally, we went through that process. It was still democratic. So there was, it's respected that that was a democratic process that we did on 2008. 2013, first we wanted to pass our documents, because now we were a new dispensation. We wanted to transform the party into, actually the movement into a party that would be democratic. This was stopped by President Salva, and that's why crisis came about in it. Now, this roadmap, after learning through bitter experience, I think the grassroots should take it very seriously and own it and come up with new leadership that will usher the country into a democratic situation rather than what we have seen before. So my confidence would lie on the fact that the leadership, the grassroots, if they own this document, they can transform the SPLM and bring up a new leadership in a democratic manner. It's a chance to us, first, to reunite. It's a chance to us to practice internal democracy and come up with new leadership and new structures. Role of China, Tanzania. Tanzania, what it has done is this, and we think this is a good block for getting peace, one of the stones for, or a foundation for striking peace in Addis Ababa. As for China, like any other superpower, you recall they convened, or they assisted the IGAD to convene IGAD mediation, to convene a conference, one-day conference, and discuss peace in Khartoum. I think that was good for China to show to the world that they're interested in peace in South Sudan. Because at one stage, you know, China was selling arms to Juba. When we engaged them in the region and also in China, they decided to suspend the arms we were bought by Juba, which we think this is good. They're playing a new role of helping the region and the South Sudanese to get peace. We commend them for the new stand they have taken. Involvement of the region, well, initially, in December 2013, when the crisis started, actually the 4 countries, Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, and Sudan, were swayed by the lies of Juba that there was a coup. But they quickly realized that this thing was not a coup. Unfortunately, it's President Museveni who continued, because his troops, he engaged them very fast. He took them to South Sudan and fought with our forces. But the rest realized very fast that this is not a coup, because we challenge the idea of a coup. We table in the agenda that we must discuss this allegation that there is a coup. They shied away from it, from their own knowledge, and said there was no coup. There was fighting. And specifically coming from the mouth of President Museveni and confirmed by the rest. So, but now the region is engaged in help in mediation and facilitation. At times we have difficulties with them in the approach of how they try to get the 2 parties come together. We lately have told them it's best they do only facilitation, while the discussion, even the drafting, should be left to the 2 parties, or to the parties to the conflict, their other stakeholders. So we hope they will continue doing the same, helping us, facilitating us to dialogue as 2 warring parties and the other stakeholders, to support the government in fighting, not in peacekeeping. Already there are UN peacekeeping forces Kenya also has a component of it. The Ethiopians are present, the Rwandese are there, the Chinese are also there. So we don't need any extra troops to be present. Then if Juba called them in because of the war, already now the IGAD forces are deployed. You know, at one stage, IGAD said these forces of Uganda will withdraw when the IGAD forces are deployed. Now the IGAD forces are deployed. They have no reason to remain in South Sudan. To unite people of South Sudan from the viewpoint of SPLM. And for South Sudanese to be united, we need the SPLM to unite, to reunite. If some members of the SPLM were supported the government blindly, they should now know that the reasons for the conflict are these that are stated in the agreement. So this is a roadmap for us to reunite. It addresses the issues that brought about the conflict. It also gives us a chance to reform and transform the SPLM. And this would be through working out our documents, our constitution, the internal regulations, or all the basic documents. Now, that helps us to reorganize again. And in the reorganization, this is when you get to vote in new leadership. Some of the agreement will not be implemented currently, but parts of it will be implemented. I believe this will give us also a chance to discuss other issues which I said before at IGAD. The system of governance, we say we want a federal system. The reforms that will be introduced under such a system, with the reforms pertaining to devolution of power, the economy, the public service, the judiciary, the legislation. So these reforms, we will now seriously be discussing them at the IGAD forum. And then the security arrangements, the need to have establishing an army which will be national, not tribal, and reforming the other security sectors. And then finally, the accountability factor. You know that the AU has given the AU Commission of Inquiry on South Sudan conflict. They have already reported their work. We are calling on the AU Peace and Security Council to make this report public, because it impacts on the peace process itself. Some have fears that if it is made public, it is going to destroy or is going to turn things upside down. I think it's best to make the report public now so that we can manage the negative aspects of it while we are discussing the issues in the conflict under the auspices of IGAD. So thank you very much.